Okay, and let's hope that we are recording. Okay. Hey Legacy Builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you during Vlogmas our January 2024 budget setup, and I'm going to do this digitally. So if you have not already, I did a budget with me pre-planned, right? So I did a rough draft and I broke down everything that I do when I'm setting up a budget for a new month. So I hope you got a chance to see that. If you did not, I will link it up above, and I hope you are enjoying Vlogmas. I am filming all of these videos for Vlogmas pretty early because if you don't know, I am pregnant. I'm currently pregnant, but by the time you see this, baby girl should already be here. So I want to get ahead of this. I want to show you my process in hopes that you can start your year strong, even if that means starting in December of 2023. Start budgeting, start managing your money, start setting goals, and look at a practical, realistic way of how people do it and how I do it. And hopefully this helps you and inspires you. So I'm going to look at my screen. I'm sharing it with you so you can see it. And hopefully it's big enough or it's large enough for you to see. So let's make this bigger. January. The pre-plan that I did had a whole rough draft and everything. It's $3,000, which equates to $750 a week for income. So that's the minimum budget, right? And we're going to look at the expenses, which is going to total itself for me. It should equal the income. Hopefully, we're not over budget. I don't think we are, but mistakes happen. So this is just a spreadsheet I'm working on. It's not my actual annual budget, which I have available on my website if anyone is interested. The annual budget, I really do love it because it kind of lists out all of the expenses, fixed and variable, including giving and charitable categories. And then it breaks down month by month, which I really love. But I'm just wanting to try something different because this might be easier for me to present while I'm at home taking care of a newborn. So, with all that being said, we're going to start with the monthly budget. We planned for rent that we're going to be saving up in January for February, and that's $1,500. And then we have car insurance, 77, electricity is 50, National Grid is still has an overage, so we don't owe anything. We have a credit right now. Life insurance number one is 33. Life insurance number two is 36. Spectrum, which is internet only, that's 85. YMCA is our family gym membership, which is 94. And Metro, which is our cell phone, is $94 also. And this is not calculating. So let me do the sum. I thought I did the sum here already. The sum of B6 to B14. So B6 to B14. Okay, 1969. That's what we got in our pre-plan if you saw that video. All right, so for variable expenses, let me make sure, okay, this is right. The formula for that is there already. So our giving is important. We tithe, me and my husband are believers, and we are raising our children to believe that giving is important according to Malachi 3. You can check it out if you would like to, but that's just our foundational principle. Not everybody has this, but this is at the top. So giving is expected to be $300 for the month, and investing is going to be $150 for the month. And then I broke down our savings between transportation fund, wellness fund, clothing fund, Christmas fund, and back to school. So I need to change some of these, or I need to insert a new set. So we have transportation is there, but I'm going to change this. I'm going to put this in order of how I wrote it. And yeah, and then transportation, wellness is there, clothing is there. We need Christmas. We need back to school. We need cash. And we need miscellaneous. And I need, there we go. That figured it out. Okay. And then miscellaneous is to get 131. I'm kind of working backwards here. Cash, 300. Back to school, $10 for the month. Christmas, 10 for the month. Clothing, 10 for the month. Wellness, 30 for the month. Transportation, 40, and then emergency fund, 50. All right, so that's $900. I feel like I'm missing something. So let me go over this again. Giving is 10%. We always give 10% of whatever income we're using. Investing and savings is 5%. So an investing should be 150 for the month. That's what I did. And then emergency fund gets 50, transportation gets 40, wellness gets 30, clothing gets 10, same as Christmas and back to school. And then cash. Oh, I put cash here for $300. Right? Yeah, that's correct. So I have it at 731, but then I didn't include that. Okay. So we should have, this should be everything. That's a zero-based budget. And then I'm also going to break this down by paycheck. So we're going to start with paycheck number 1, because when I come back, I'm still working out, some things with this spreadsheet. I want to create an actual column, and then when I come back, I'll just, close this out with you this way, because I think it will be easier than for me having to do my whole setup with the overhead, because I think this would be easier while I'm, again, dealing with a newborn. So let's see how this works. But I'm still doing my pen and paper. I can't get over it. My budget isn't real to me unless I'm writing it down. I'm writing out my goals and I'm doing my full reset like that. This is just for ease of use. And, I wanted to participate in Vlogmas. So I hope y'all like it. All right. Paycheck number 1, January 5th. Let me make sure my categories are right first. First, we have tithe. Then we have invest. Then we have our savings, which I'm going to break down separately. Then we have our rent, which is not a third of the rent. Is it? Or is it a fourth of the rent? I don't know why I did it like this. I'm just going to put rent for February because that's what it is for. The emergency fund is already included in the savings, so we need to put cash. And then we also need to pay 2 bills in the first week. One is YMCA. The second one is our electricity bill, and then next month's bills. And so the tithe is going to be 75. Investing is 38. Savings is 37. Rent's 375. $78 in cash. $94 YMCA, $50 for PSEG, and next month's bills will get $3, which is $750. That is a zero-based budget. I want to make sure that this fits. There we go. So I hope you can see that clearly. We have a zero-based budget for paycheck number 1, and this is budgeted. And then when I come back to close it out, we're going to have an actual. So I'm going to change this because I want this to be a certain color, and the color is, where's the color? Where is it filled? Okay, so second from the bottom. So I know what color it is. I want this to match that color. So I know that that's what it is. And we'll make that bold and italic for budgeted. And then this will be bold and italic for budgeted. Okay, so that's it. And then when I come back, I'll total up everything. And just in case there's extra, I'll add an extra line here to make that accounting. And that's that. And then I'll do a sum so I can make sure from, let's see where that starts. That's V6 all the way through V15, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's that. That's paycheck number 1. And now I need to move on to paycheck number 2. So for paycheck number 2, the categories are almost the same, except I'm going to change this from rent 1/4 to rent February because that makes sense. Tithe, invest, save. I put rent here, so let's just change that. Rent for February, then cash. Then Spectrum is due that week. Then life insurance number one is due that week. And then we have miscellaneous. So we'll just delete this for now. Or I could put next month's bills, even though I don't think we will put anything that week unless we get extra income. So for the second week, we're going to plan for 75. Investing will be 38. Savings will be 37. Rent will be 375. Cash will be 76. We're still going to be doing the 100 envelope challenge. I don't know if this small camera will pick up what I'm doing, just in case you're new here, but I'm doing a 100 envelope challenge using this envelope. It's to save $10,000. So I've already chosen the envelopes that I plan to stuff that week. So that's why the cash is the specific amount. It's not a whole number, like a round number like 80 or whatever, $76. But I worked it out. You would probably know if you watched the budget pre-plan with me. Spectrum 85, life insurance 133, miscellaneous 31, and then next month's bills is nothing, and we have a zero-based budget. Boom. I'm so glad that worked out. So now we can move on to paycheck number three. Paycheck number three, let's see. We're still working with the same amount, but I need to make sure my categories are in order based on what we did in our pre-planning. So tithe, invest, save, cash. And then we have our rent for February. And then we have life insurance 2. And then we have Metro. Well, I did this kind of backwards. Miscellaneous, and then Metro, because that has to be paid. So going from bottom to top, Metro, which is our cell phone, is 94. Miscellaneous will get 21. Life insurance, we're putting 36. Rent for February is 375, and that's a portion of the rent. Somebody asked me, only $300 for your rent? No, we put aside money each week to pay it for the next month. Cash is 74, savings 37. That's split between like 6 categories, you guys, but every dollar is still going to make a difference. Investing is 38, and tithe 75. Boom, zero base budget. Okay, so now we can go to paycheck number 4 for the month, and let's make sure the categories make sense. We have tithe, invest, save, cash, and then we want to put the rent for February. And then Geico, yes, Geico, and then miscellaneous. So let's start at the top this time. Shake things up a little bit. 75 for giving, 38 for investing, 37 for savings, 72 for cash, 375 for rent, 77 for Geico, and 76 for miscellaneous. Zero-based budget, y'all. I hope you can see that clearly. Let me know if you can't, if I need to change something. I tried to give each month a theme. If you can see, this was November's budget, and then December's budget, and then January's budget. And then I'm going to continue like this until, whenever. Or at least until I can get into a much easier routine after we get the baby acclimated to a schedule, where she sleeps at a certain time, she wakes up at a certain time, she naps at a certain time, she goes to bed at a certain time. Like, I need to get her on a good schedule. So, but this is nice. I hope you like it. How is your January going? If it's not January, I think if my schedule is right and I posted this at the right time, you should be seeing this probably closer to the end of December. So we haven't hit January yet, but I hope you are enjoying your January. You're probably going to see this well after Christmas. I hope your Christmas was amazing and that you received many, many blessings and just enjoy your family and your loved ones. So this is how we plan on doing that. I need to use my calculator in my hand to make sure that $3,000 minus 1969 minus 900 still leaves us with 131. So I'm missing something, because based on what I have here on my monthly budget that I wrote out, Something is missing. I'm not sure what it is though. Tithe is 300. I know that. Investing 150. Emergency fund is getting 50. I'm going to check these off as I look here on my spreadsheet to make sure. Transportation is getting 40, unless it didn't total up everything. Wellness is getting 30. Clothing is 10. Christmas is 10. Back to school is 10. Invest. No, I did investment already. Cash is 300 and miscellaneous is 131. So I think this didn't total up everything. E14. Oh, that's why. It's only going to E14. And I need you to calculate everything. Boom. I was about to say, I know my numbers were right. I did it with you guys. All right, so that's it. $3,000 allocated. We are not over budget. We have a zero-based monthly budget, and we have a zero-based budget per paycheck, which is nice to see. And then I will come in and do the actuals when I'm ready to close out. So again, I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. I got some dislikes on some videos that I thought I did really good with because I worked hard on it, but it's okay because we move on. I'm really excited. As the time, no, at the time I'm recording this, you guys, I am still very, very pregnant, very close to the end, but not quite. So I'm excited. I'm so excited to meet her, and I hope that that's coming across, and I hope you're not irritated with me. But if you have suggestions, leave them down in the comments. I got thick skin. I have four. I have three boys. I have another girl coming. I got a husband who's very a man's man. He loves me. He's great, but he's a man's man. So yeah, I can deal with it. But I'm just trying to make sure I can present this in a way that is easy for you to follow. And hopefully with Vlogmas, you'll see the kind of behind the scenes process of doing a budget, and hopefully that's your I can be like your companion, your friend. We're doing this together. You see how I do things. You don't have to do things exactly the way I do it, but just have someone to be able to process your thoughts and your vision and your goals for your budget every month, every week, however you get paid. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Continue to mind your money